Behind the glitz, sold-out arenas, and legendary performances were chilling moments when Michael Jackson came frighteningly close to losing his life. While millions saw the magic on stage, few realized just how often danger lurked behind the spotlight. These are the terrifying moments when the king of pop came closer to death than almost anyone ever knew.
To death.
Jackson was hospitalized briefly for scalp burns, but now is being treated.
From collapsing during rehearsals to suffering severe burns, battling exhaustion, and facing life-threatening emergencies, Michael Jackson repeatedly risked everything behind the spotlight.
Stardom.
Brody came out with the credentials and said that Michael Jackson was rehearsing a number.
Let's uncover the shocking dangers and unforgettable moments that shaped Michael Jackson's extraordinary journey as the king of pop.
It's not where my heart is. I would slit my wrist first. I would never do anything.
Sparking the flame. Everything changed in a single terrifying instant when a wall of fire erupted behind Michael Jackson. Bright lights, roaring pyrotechnics, and enormous streams had transformed the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles into the perfect stage on January 27, 1984. For Michael, filming the now famous Pepsi commercial was supposed to be another unforgettable performance filled with music, fireworks, and pure showmanship. But during the sixth take, a catastrophic technical malfunction caused the pyrotechnics to ignite several seconds too early. The magnesium flame shot upward, instantly setting Michael's hair on fire and inflicting devastating second- and third-degree burns across his scalp while permanently destroying hair follicles and leaving injuries to his face. The music kept playing, but within moments, excitement turned into absolute panic. Crew members rushed toward him with fire extinguishers as everyone realized they were witnessing a real emergency unfold before their eyes. Paramedics quickly transported Michael to Brotman Memorial Hospital, their sirens cutting through the Los Angeles night. Outside the emergency entrance, reporters gathered anxiously, documenting every development as doctors fought to stabilize him, using powerful pain medication to control the unbearable agony. That single accident marked the beginning of a painful medical journey that would follow him for decades. Multiple surgeries, permanent scars, relentless physical pain, and long-term prescriptions slowly became part of his everyday reality. The fire lasted only seconds, but its consequences changed the king of pop's life forever. Here's our special topic. In this footage, Michael Jackson appears to perform his famous moonwalk before suddenly reacting as though something went wrong with his leg. Some fans believe he suffered a serious injury during the performance, while others argue it was simply part of the choreography or an awkward movement. To this day, there is no verified evidence confirming exactly when the clip was recorded or whether an injury actually occurred. Was it a genuine accident or just another internet theory? Let us know what you think in the comments. Burns become prescriptions. Long before the accident, Michael Jackson publicly promoted a drug-free lifestyle and proudly supported Nancy Reagan's Just Say No campaign. Family members consistently described him as someone who stayed away from narcotics. But after the horrific burns suffered during the Pepsi commercial, everything slowly began to change. Plastic surgeon Dr. Stephen Heflin performed multiple reconstructive procedures as doctors prescribed increasingly powerful pain medications to help manage the constant suffering. Legal expert Brian Panish later argued that this moment quietly triggered what became a pharmaceutical chain stretching across nearly 25 years. Miko Brando, Marlon Brando's son, and one of Michael's closest friends, later explained that the early medical treatments were completely legitimate and carefully supervised. At first, everything followed normal medical practice. Yet what began as routine treatment slowly evolved into something much larger, permanently altering the course of Michael Jackson's life. Victory Tour. Performing through pain. Only months after surgeons rebuilt parts of his burned scalp, Michael Jackson returned to the stage as if nothing had happened. Throughout the Victory Tour during the summer of 1984, he performed night after night while his injuries were still healing and reconstructive surgeries continued behind the scenes. The tour grossed more than $75 million between July and December, becoming one of the biggest concert events of its era. But the demanding choreography left almost no opportunity for recovery. Endless spins, powerful footwork, explosive dance routines, and marathon-length performances placed enormous stress on his recovering body. According to several biographers and family members, prescription medication gradually shifted from temporary surgical pain relief into something required simply to continue performing. Later reports suggested that medications such as Demerol and OxyContin eventually became connected to chronic pain that originated after the Pepsi accident. The burns also fueled an increasing reliance on cosmetic surgeries throughout the late 1980s. While the Victory Tour eventually ended, the physical pain and the prescriptions continued long after the final curtain closed. Dangerous cherry picker. More than 50 feet above a packed stadium, disaster nearly struck once again. During rehearsals for the Dangerous World Tour, the massive cherry picker designed to lift Michael Jackson high above the audience suddenly malfunctioned. Without warning, the mechanical arm jerked violently, throwing him forward and leaving him hanging high in the air while terrified crew members rushed to prevent a fatal accident. The Dangerous World Tour, running from 1992 to 1993, included 70 concerts across 3 continents and attracted almost 4 million fans. The production relied on advanced stage technology, hydraulic lifts, trapdoors, pyrotechnics, and towering mechanical equipment. Guitarist Jennifer Batten later described watching the terrifying malfunction unfold as Michael dangled from the safety bars while technicians desperately lowered the machine. Remarkably calm throughout the ordeal, Michael simply told the crew over his microphone, "I don't mean to pull rank, but the situation needs to be fixed." Outside the touring crew, very few people ever learned how close one mechanical failure came to becoming another tragedy. Dehydration in Bangkok. Only hours before thousands of fans were due to fill a stadium in Bangkok, Michael Jackson suddenly collapsed backstage, pushing his $100 million Dangerous World Tour toward crisis. By August 1993, the exhausting tour had already crossed multiple continents when severe dehydration forced the cancellation of the Bangkok performance. Publicly, officials described it as a medical issue caused by exhaustion. Privately, however, far more serious concerns had begun emerging. Court testimony later revealed that multiple physicians had prescribed overlapping medications during this period, a practice addiction specialist later described as Dr. Shopping. The relentless demands of touring combined with growing personal pressures only intensified Michael's dependence on prescription medication. By November 1993, the remaining dates of the Dangerous Tour were officially canceled. Soon afterward, Michael released an emotional 5-minute video explaining that he would enter treatment for dependency on prescription pain medication, offering fans the first public acknowledgement of the private battle he had been fighting for months. Chest pains and silence. Following the brutal Bad World Tour, another frightening medical emergency struck. During a private dance rehearsal in 1990, Michael Jackson suddenly experienced severe chest pains and briefly lost consciousness, leading to an emergency trip to St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica. News reports immediately fueled speculation that the superstar had suffered a heart attack. Fortunately, doctors discovered something different. The diagnosis was costochondritis, an extremely painful inflammation of the cartilage connecting the ribs to the breastbone, caused largely by years of physically demanding choreography. His body had literally begun breaking down under the relentless strain of constant rehearsals and performances. Even President George H.W. Bush reportedly called the hospital to express his concern. The diagnosis served as another warning that the extraordinary demands placed upon Michael Jackson's body were becoming increasingly difficult to survive. Crisis reveals true mastery. During one unforgettable Dangerous Tour performance in Moscow, torrential rain transformed the stage into a dangerously slippery surface. The floor became almost mirror-like beneath the stadium lights, creating one of the most hazardous environments imaginable for a performer whose routines depended upon precise footwork. Many artists would have stopped the concert immediately. Michael Jackson did the opposite. Every movement became more calculated, every step more controlled, and every performance decision reflected incredible concentration. Rather than allowing the storm to ruin the show, he transformed the dangerous conditions into one of the tour's most memorable performances. The rain became part of the spectacle, demonstrating extraordinary discipline, remarkable professionalism, and a commitment to the audience that continues to define his legacy. A countdown to collapse. By December 1995, enormous pressure surrounded Michael Jackson's planned HBO special, One Night Only, at New York's Beacon Theater. Determined to deliver absolute perfection after years of public scrutiny, Michael pushed himself through endless rehearsals while repeatedly changing choreography, lighting, staging, and production details. Meals became irregular. Sleep became scarce. Crew members watched him grow visibly thinner as rehearsals continued almost non-stop. Financial expectations surrounding the broadcast continued climbing while physical exhaustion steadily increased. Then, only days before the performance, everything came crashing down. Michael Jackson collapsed, forcing the cancellation of one of the most anticipated television events of the decade and once again exposing the enormous physical price of perfection. Shockwave through the stadium. Another terrifying accident unfolded during the MJ and Friends charity concert in Munich on June 27, 1999. While performing Earth Song, the enormous steel bridge supporting Michael Jackson suddenly malfunctioned and plunged more than 50 feet toward the stage below after a catastrophic cable failure. Despite suffering severe back injuries, bruising, and tremendous physical shock, Michael astonishingly completed the performance before seeking medical treatment. Doctors worked throughout the night to stabilize him while news organizations around the world waited anxiously for updates. Despite the terrifying accident, the charity event successfully raised more than $1.6 million for the Red Cross, UNESCO, and Nelson Mandela's Children's Fund, proving that even in moments of extraordinary adversity, Michael Jackson remained determined to finish what he had started. Unbroken stage kindness. Even danger could not change Michael Jackson's instinct to remain kind. During one live concert, as he was being lifted high above the audience on a crane, an excited fan suddenly broke through security and climbed toward the stage. Panic spread instantly among security personnel as the crowd watched the confrontation unfold. Yet instead of reacting with anger or fear, Michael remained calm, allowing security to handle the situation while continuing the performance with remarkable composure. Even during moments of complete chaos, he rarely lost control, showing once again why millions admired not only his talent, but also his extraordinary grace under pressure. A steady hand reached out through the darkness, offering safety and calm high above the crowd. Somehow, the performance never stopped. The music continued, the voice stayed steady, and every movement remained focused even as thousands of people held their breath. That night, the audience witnessed something far greater than another concert. They watched compassion unfold in real time, blending effortlessly with songs built around hope, healing, and humanity. In one unforgettable moment, an artist and an admirer shared a connection that lasted far beyond the final applause. What began as pure spectacle quietly transformed into a story of courage, kindness, and grace that continues to resonate decades later. If you've made it this far, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel. Now, back to the story. Leaning into reality. One tiny mistake beneath the stage nearly turned Michael Jackson's most impossible illusion into a very public disaster. The legendary anti-gravity lean from the History World Tour looked like pure magic. Night after night, audiences watched Michael tilt forward nearly 45 degrees, believing they were witnessing something that defied the laws of physics. The real secret, however, was hidden inside his shoes. Specially designed footwear contained a slot in the heel that locked onto steel pegs built directly into the stage floor at the precise second of the lean. This engineering allowed performers to lean far beyond the normal human limit of 25 to 30 degrees. But perfection depended entirely on split-second timing. During performances in Tokyo in 1996 and Amsterdam in 1997, the mechanism occasionally failed to connect. The heel missed the peg, balance disappeared instantly, and gravity took over. For a brief moment, the illusion collapsed as performers stumbled before recovering and continuing the routine. Those rare mistakes exposed the incredible precision required to create one of pop culture's most iconic moments. Behind the illusion stood flawless choreography, engineering, and timing. One missed connection was all it took to remind everyone that even legends cannot escape gravity. Jackson's secret fear. Only weeks before announcing the biggest comeback of his career, Michael Jackson quietly confessed a terrifying fear. In March 2009, preparations were underway for the historic This Is It residency at London's O2 Arena, a 50-show comeback expected to become one of the largest concert events ever staged. Yet behind the excitement, former bodyguard Matt Fiddes later described a man overwhelmed by anxiety. According to Fiddes, Michael believed there was a real possibility he could be assassinated before or during the concerts. He later claimed that Michael drank nearly half a bottle of whiskey before the famous press conference because he feared someone might shoot him. Security staff reportedly worked desperately to calm him before he stepped in front of the cameras. Afterward, Michael privately admitted another fear, saying, "I fear I'm not going to make these concerts or may get assassinated on stage. Please make sure my children are okay." Court testimony from the 2005 trial also revealed that Michael Jackson routinely wore a bulletproof vest and had planned to continue wearing one during the This Is It performances. According to Matt Fiddes, this would become the final time he ever saw Michael Jackson alive. The warning nobody stopped. Years before the world learned how serious Michael Jackson's medical struggles had become, another frightening warning nearly ended in tragedy. Inside a rented mansion on Coldwater Canyon in 2004, Michael reportedly collapsed unconscious, creating panic inside the home. Brother Randy Jackson quickly sought help as a nearby paramedic friend rushed over to assist before additional medical professionals arrived. According to individuals close to both the family and the physician present that day, the scene inside the mansion was deeply disturbing. One doctor reportedly expressed shock at the quantity of prescription medication stored throughout the residence. Yet despite the seriousness of the incident, very little changed afterward. Family members had already spent years worrying about Michael's health. Around the time of the 30th anniversary concerts in New York, relatives reportedly staged an intervention, begging him to seek help before it was too late. Katherine Jackson herself repeatedly expressed concern, often asking questions about the tragic death of Elvis Presley. Looking back, the warning signs had appeared years before tragedy finally arrived. The audio war. Sometimes the greatest battles were never fought on stage, but inside the headphones. During rehearsals for This Is It, Michael Jackson repeatedly stopped performances because of tiny audio problems that almost nobody else could hear. Faulty in-ear monitors, delayed click tracks, and slight timing issues became constant sources of frustration. The now famous "That's Why We Have Rehearsal" moment perfectly captured his obsession with perfection. To most people, these sounded like ordinary technical problems. To Michael, they threatened the entire performance. Even a fraction of a second of delay could destroy carefully synchronized choreography involving dancers, musicians, lighting, and video effects. Every pause, correction, and repeated instruction reflected his belief that perfection depended on precision. In stadiums filled with tens of thousands of people, flawless sound was not simply a luxury, it was survival. His battle with technology revealed how relentlessly he chased perfection until the very end. Fame's hidden cost. For Michael Jackson, cameras rarely existed simply to record performances. More often, they became relentless hunters. Throughout his career, paparazzi documented not only his success, but also every vulnerable moment, every mistake, and every attempt to find privacy. His frustration with intrusive photographers became increasingly visible over the years. Archival footage captured moments where Michael calmly but firmly confronted members of the press, demanding basic respect and personal space. Those encounters stripped away the polished superstar image and revealed something much more human, a man desperately trying to protect what little privacy remained. Behind every confrontation lay the same invisible battle, fame versus freedom. The cameras rarely stopped rolling, and neither did the pressure. Those tense exchanges became one of the few defenses he had left against a world that constantly demanded more access than anyone could reasonably give. Cracks in the icon. Even legends eventually reveal exhaustion. During his 2003 60 Minutes interview with Ed Bradley, viewers witnessed one of the rare occasions where Michael Jackson's composure visibly began to crack. As questions about legal troubles and media scrutiny continued, he appeared increasingly drained, struggling at times to maintain focus while quietly expressing frustration with the direction of the interview. His posture became more defensive. His patience steadily faded. Rather than reflecting arrogance or indifference, the interview revealed a man emotionally exhausted after years of relentless accusations and public suspicion. For perhaps the first time, millions watched Michael Jackson not as an untouchable superstar, but as someone simply overwhelmed by the enormous weight he had been carrying for years. Pain beyond the applause. As excitement for this as it spread across the world, another reality remained hidden behind closed rehearsal doors. Publicly, audiences saw breathtaking choreography, creative brilliance, and the promise of an extraordinary comeback. Privately, however, sleepless nights, chronic pain, and mounting physical exhaustion continued taking their toll. Insurance companies struggled to approve coverage because of incomplete medical records and long histories of previous injuries. Daily life became increasingly dependent upon medications, doctors, physical therapy, and constant efforts simply to keep rehearsing. While millions anticipated a spectacular return, very few realized that behind every rehearsal stood a man quietly battling pain, isolation, and impossible expectations. The applause masked a struggle almost nobody could see. When perfection snapped, every rehearsal demanded complete control. Every movement had to happen exactly on cue. Then, without warning, the microphone's stand jammed. Metal scraped against metal, breaking the rhythm in the middle of practice. For a split second, everything stopped. Frustration flashed across Michael Jackson's face as he grabbed the heavy stand and forcefully threw it aside before immediately returning to the choreography. The audience would never witness that moment, but those inside rehearsals understood what it represented. It wasn't simply anger over faulty equipment. It reflected the enormous pressure of creating perfection under impossible circumstances. Within seconds, the mistake disappeared, swallowed by another flawless performance. Even technical failures became part of the show. The final rehearsal floor. Late on the night of June 24th, 2009, the Staples Center glowed with anticipation. Preparations for this as it continued as rehearsals stretched beyond midnight before ending with a stunning performance of Earth Song. Those watching remembered seeing flashes of the performer they had admired for decades. His movements still carried precision, power, and unmistakable artistry. Yet beneath every step, exhaustion quietly lingered. Before leaving, Michael Jackson shared a calm conversation with musical director Michael Bearden, promising everyone they would return the following day for a complete run-through. He then quietly left the arena and returned to his Holmby Hills home. The energy of the rehearsal disappeared into silence. Sleep once again refused to come. According to testimony, Michael requested what he called milk to help him overcome another night of severe insomnia. Morning arrived. The promised rehearsal never happened. The comeback the world had waited years to witness would never take place. At the heart of every moonwalk stood a man living with extraordinary pain. Behind every sold-out stadium stood someone desperately searching for rest. The world received everything Michael Jackson had to give: his music, his creativity, his body, and ultimately his peace, until there was nothing left to give. Eventually, the lights faded. The stage fell silent. But somewhere inside the music, Michael Jackson never truly stopped dancing. And perhaps, after a lifetime of searching, he finally found the peaceful sleep he had always deserved.